You know that feeling when you wake up with all these big plans for the day, and then somehow it's 11 p.m. and you've done absolutely nothing? Yeah, me too. And here's what nobody tells you. You're not lazy, you're just scared. And today, I'm going to prove it to you. Because once you understand what's really happening in your brain, everything changes. Let's get real for a second. You've probably called yourself lazy 100 times this week alone. Scrolling instead of working, watching one more episode instead of going to the gym, putting off that project until tomorrow again. But here's the thing. Lazy people don't care. They're completely fine with doing nothing. You're not fine. You're frustrated. You feel guilty. You go to bed disappointed in yourself almost every night. That's not laziness. That's something completely different. And understanding this difference is going to change everything for you. See, what you call laziness is actually your brain protecting you from failure. Think about it. When was the last time you procrastinated on something that didn't matter to you? You don't put off scrolling social media. You don't procrastinate on watching Netflix. You procrastinate on the things you actually care about. Your business idea, your health, your dreams, the stuff that would hurt if you tried and failed. Your brain sees you getting ready to do something important and it panics. It throws every distraction at you. Suddenly, cleaning your room seems urgent. Reorganizing your files feels productive. Anything to keep you away from the thing that might prove you're not good enough. I spent 2 years planning to start creating content. 2 entire years. I had notebooks full of ideas, folders full of research. I told myself I was being smart, being prepared. But the truth? I was terrified. What if I put myself out there and nobody cared? What if I worked hard and still failed? It was easier to stay in the planning phase forever. At least there, I couldn't fail. And that's exactly where you are right now with something in your life. I know it. You know what it is. Here's the brutal part. Every day you wait, you're not just staying still. You're actually training yourself to quit. Your brain is learning that when things feel hard or scary, the solution is to avoid them. And that pattern gets stronger every single time you give into it. That's why it gets harder over time, not easier. That's why you used to be able to push through, and now you can't seem to start anything. You've been practicing avoidance, and you've gotten really good at it. But just like you trained yourself into this, you can train yourself out of it. And it starts with understanding one simple truth. You don't need more motivation. You need less perfection. Most people think they'll start when they feel ready, when they have more energy, when the timing is better, when they figured it all out. But that day never comes, because your brain will always find a reason why now isn't the right time. The people you admire, the ones who seem so disciplined and productive, they don't feel ready either. They just started anyway. They started messy. They started scared. They started before they had it all figured out. And here's what happened. Action created clarity. Movement created momentum. They didn't think their way into acting. They acted their way into thinking. That paper you need to write, you don't need to write it well. You need to write one bad sentence. That workout you're avoiding, you don't need to do the full routine. You need to put on your shoes. That business you want to start, you don't need a perfect plan. You need to take one imperfect step today. Let me give you something practical right now. The 2-minute rule. And it sounds almost too simple to work, but that's exactly why it does. Whatever you're procrastinating on, commit to doing it for just 2 minutes. Not 2 hours, 2 minutes. Write for 2 minutes. Exercise for 2 minutes. Work on your project for 2 minutes. Here's the secret. Starting is the hardest part. Once you're in motion, staying in motion is actually easier than stopping. But your brain doesn't know that. It just sees this massive, scary task. When you shrink it down to 2 minutes, you remove the fear. You remove the excuses. And most of the time, you'll keep going past 2 minutes because you've broken through the resistance. You've proven to yourself that you can do it. Now, some of you are thinking, but I've tried this before and it didn't work. And you're right, because you tried it once, and when you didn't become a completely different person overnight, you quit. Here's what nobody talks about. Changing your patterns is uncomfortable. Your brain hates it. For the first week, maybe 2, it's gonna feel forced. It's gonna feel fake. You're going to want to go back to your old ways because they're familiar. But discomfort isn't a sign you're doing it wrong. It's a sign you're doing it right. It's a sign you're actually changing. And if you can push through that discomfort for just 2 weeks, something incredible happens. The new behavior starts to feel normal. It starts to become who you are. And here's the most important thing I want you to understand. You don't have to fix everything at once. You don't have to become a completely different person tomorrow. You just have to be 1% better than you were yesterday. Stop comparing your beginning to someone else's middle. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop using laziness as an identity, because it's not who you are. It's just a pattern you've been practicing, and patterns can be changed. You're not broken. You're not beyond help. You're just scared, and that's okay. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's acting despite it. So here's what I want you to do tonight, not tomorrow, tonight. Pick one thing, just one, the thing you've been avoiding, the thing that matters, and commit to 2 minutes. That's it, 2 minutes of imperfect action. Don't think about it, don't plan it perfectly, don't wait until you feel ready, just do 2 minutes, because that's how it starts. That's how everything starts. You've spent enough time being disappointed in yourself. It's time to prove to yourself what you're actually capable of. And I promise you, it starts with something much smaller than you think. Your move.